Well, hello and welcome to Are We There Yet? Market Scale's online video podcast series that explores the most exciting organizations, companies, and technologies in all of transportation and mobility. My name is Grant Harrell, and as your host, I'm proud to speak with the voices of today's most exciting companies, learning truly what's at the cutting edge of transportation and mobility technology today. So, anything that moves and is cutting edge, we're very excited to learn more about within the series. So, everything from automotive, aviation, space exploration, supply chain logistics, and in between, we're really excited about. And I'm especially excited about today's episode to really learn about the latest in technologies within InsurTech 2.0. And to speak with us about that, we have what I believe is the most exciting organization in the industry, Fairmatic. And very excited today to speak with their president of insurance, Jamie Trish. So, Jamie, hello and welcome to Are We There Yet?
Hello, Grant. Thanks so much for having me and for sharing Fairmatic's story.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm so excited to speak with you today, and I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us here at Are We There Yet? And as I shared, I'm so excited about the work that you and your team are undergoing within Fairmatic, and I truly do believe that you're one of the most exciting companies in the industry. So for our audience members that may not be so familiar with the organization, would you mind telling us a little bit more about Fairmatic?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. I could sort of just say to you that we are in the business of commercial auto insurance and leave it at that. But somehow I don't think your listeners would find that super exciting or understand why we're so cutting edge. So, as you know, we are really much more than a traditional commercial auto insurance company. And what makes us special is the unconventional, impact-driven approach that we take to commercial auto insurance. We have proprietary pricing models that have been built on hundreds of billions of miles of driving data.
Wow.
And when you take that expertise and combine it with our technology, it really allows us to reward safer driving with lower insurance premiums. So this gives Fairmatic's commercial auto insurance customers fairness and control over their costs that they can't get anywhere else in the market. And so that's sort of who we are. And if you think about sort of how does it work, you can take a step back and recognize that all commercial auto insurance companies are really in the business of trying to assess the risk of each individual customer and price customers according to that risk. But that is a really, really, really difficult thing to do. So our technology at Fairmatic is super easy for customers to install and use. You don't need anything beyond a mobile phone. Customers can download the Fairmatic app directly, or we can embed our app into another app or platform that the fleet owner uses already in their business. But either way, once installed, our technology captures driving data that gives us deep insight into how our customers and their drivers are performing on the road. So this allows us to do two things. One, we can immediately, and I mean immediately, reward the safest driving fleets with lower insurance premiums. And number two, we can empower fleets that have room for improvement to improve their driving with the insights and information that they need to get better. So this is a win for the customer because they're able to control their insurance costs. It's really a win for Fairmatic because unlike InsurTech 1.0, we really are able to focus on growing our customer base in a profitable way. And then three, I think, different than any other insurance company out there, we actually offer a win more broadly for society because when you reward safer driving, we actually can help save lives on US roads.
Wow.
So that's the Fairmatic story, and that's how our product works.
That's incredible. What an impact. I think saving lives is so impressive and so important. And I think at the end of the day, the safety and saving lives component is incredible. And so definitely thank you and the organization for that. And I love the focus on fairness and really making things more fair within the industry. So that's great to learn about. And I think the ultimate win-win for everyone involved is so important. I was really impressed too with some of the users. So some of the companies that are already saving money through working with Fairmatic and some of the anticipated users, later down the road. Would you mind telling audience members a little bit more about, some of these groups within, transportation, within automotive that'll be benefiting from working with Fairmatic?
Sure. So, of course, first of all, what is unique about Fairmatic's product is since it's tied directly to driving behavior, it really can work across virtually any segment. So it doesn't matter if you're a professional driver working to deliver goods or services or people, or if you're a professional contractor, a plumber who drives to get themselves to and from a job. Our product is equally applicable across sort of all segments of commercial auto. But if you look back at sort of where we've started and where we are today, we've seen some great success with transportation network companies. So that's where we first wrote our first customer and our first policy, and we embed our technology right into the platforms they use to manage their business. But we've also had a lot of success with last mile delivery, with non-emergency medical transportation, with artisan contracting. And really, like I said, it's a matter of sort of when we expand into additional segments because we believe our product is applicable to every commercial auto insurance customer.
Very good. Very good. That's exciting. So many applications from the company and technology. So I love to hear that. Um, in addition to Fairmatic's, leadership within the industry and with this incredible technology and product that you've developed, Jamie, you're very much a thought leader yourself within insurance, and I was so impressed with your background and some of the leading organizations that you've had the opportunity to serve prior to Fairmatic. Would you mind telling us a little bit more about your background?
Sure. I've had the joy of spending the last couple of decades in the commercial insurance industry, and it's a wonderful place to be. I've held a variety of roles, first at Liberty Mutual, and then more recently at Allstate, where I was the president of business insurance. And I bring with me to Fairmatic a lot of experience in the commercial insurance industry generally, but really over the last 5 years or so of my career have been dedicated very much to the commercial auto space. And the reason for that is because the commercial auto space has provided enormous challenges to the insurance industry. So really excited to be able to bring that background to bear, partner with my technology partners at Fairmatic, and really change the world of commercial auto.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Very good. Well, really impressive, and know that you bring some great experience to Fairmatic and are already integrating that, within the incredible projects that you're involved in. So really great to hear that. One thing that I'm especially fascinated about within commercial insurance and the industry is this shift that we're seeing right now. And I understand that there's very much a shift underway in terms of a shift from using historical data traditionally to using more real time actual individual risk data and using that within the underwriting process itself. So that shift, that transition is something that I think is incredibly fascinating within the industry. And so fitting within the theme of the Are We There Yet podcast series, I would love to pose the question to you. So in terms of kind of that shift from historical data to more, real-time actual data within commercial insurance and within underwriting, are we there yet?
Okay, so I was so excited to get this question. I think I can start Are We There Yet by taking a little bit of a look back from where we've been. And if you think about the last 10 years, the commercial auto industry has reported over $20 billion in underwriting losses. So
Wow.
if you think about that, you have commercial auto policies that have, $1 million or more limits, and they're especially sensitive to the ongoing inflationary pressures and sort of long development tails. And so that means that sort of in the face of those macro trends, it can take a while
Hmm.
for the insurance industry to figure out how much claims are going to ultimately cost.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge, is that it takes a long time to figure out sort of what's ahead or what your costs are. And
Okay.
this isn't a secret. Everyone in the industry has been struggling with this, and the industry just hasn't been able to fix it fast enough. So we haven't been able to get ahead of that inflationary cycle. So this
Okay.
is because insurance companies really, they just take time to change. You have year-long policies, there are regulatory constraints, there are cultural constraints, and there are a ton of existing relationships they have with current customers that companies need to be extremely sensitive about disrupting.
Hmm.
So when you look back, we've been struggling with just some really challenging problems.
Yeah.
So despite that, while the industry has underperformed, there have been companies that have seen significantly better results. And what can separate the better performers from the rest is data, and how effectively those companies are using data to price insurance. And so if you look at Fairmatic, our results have outperformed the market, and we believe that we can continue to outperform the market by continuously improving how we leverage real-time current data instead of historical data to get smarter about the risks that are on the road. So if you have better data and you have sort of package it in a customer-friendly technology, then you can win the best and most responsible customers on the road. So with better data and technology, we're also able, as I said earlier, to enable risk management practices. So even if a customer isn't as safe as they could be when they start with Fairmatic, the insights we give them about their driving, they can improve their performance over time and actually lower the cost of their insurance premiums.
Wow.
So this sets up this virtuous cycle, which rewards the most responsible fleets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think, are we there yet? When I think about sort of the problem that we're facing and where we are, really what makes Fairmatic exciting is that we have been able to prove that there's a different way. We've had our product in market for several years. We know it works. We know it rewards the most responsible customers. It allows for profitable growth, and it makes roads safer for society. So yes, in a sense, I think we're there.
Yes.
But at the same time, we have this enormous sort of opportunity ahead of us. So even though we've figured out a better way to do commercial auto insurance, we're really just getting started on the journey to bring that solution to every commercial fleet on their road. So it feels like, yes, we're there, but we also have a long way to go.
Sure.
And I know like what we feel great about is just being in a position to set the pace on that, to be have sort of developed the pricing models already, and to be able to continuously get smarter as we continuously iterate on our product and bring it to more and more customers. So I don't know if that's an answer you get a lot. Yes, I feel like we're there, but yes, we also have a long way to go.
Yes, very much so. I love it. And I think that's a great answer. And I think the fact that we are there yet, and a yes to the question, and I think largely due to the incredible work and technology that Fairmatic has developed, but certainly, yes, opportunity, for further improvements and further savings from the clients that you support. So I think that's a great, very optimistic, positive answer, and one that I'm very happy to hear. And I know that the companies that you support will be very happy to hear as well. So love it. There's a lot happening. We talked about this shift from historical data to real-time data. There's also, as I understand, a very changing and evolving risk landscape. And at the same time, there's more ripe data, there's more insights that are available. So there's really, a lot going on. And so if you don't mind, would love for you to maybe comment on that a little bit more, in terms of just this changing risk landscape. And you spoke about that a little bit within the previous answer, but would love to hear a little bit more about this changing landscape that you're seeing within the industry right now.
Sure, would love to. So I would say like a macro level, we know that technology on the road is improving, it's expanding, it's becoming much more common. And I know you cover a lot of the technology advancements on your podcast, and you and your guests can share a lot more information about them. But from my sort of insurance seat, I view the technology advancements as a fantastic thing. Technology is going to make roads safer overall, and that is very much in line with our mission. And it's inarguably a great thing.
Yeah.
But as I think about sort of the future, even with safer roads and better technology out there, there's still going to be within the fleets on the road better and worse driving performance. And so on average, fleets are going to get better. But what Fairmatic does differently is it doesn't look at things on average. It looks at your actual driving behavior and rewards you with insurance premium commensurate with that driving behavior. So if you drive better, you will see savings from that actual driving better. So as technology becomes more ubiquitous and more cars have technology and additional sensors embedded in them, Fairmatic is really positioning ourselves to leverage that additional data and insights that will become available. So we really think about it as an opportunity to help our models get smarter and help us better differentiate driving on the road so that we can predict risk even better than we do today. So we're a tech company doing insurance, and really are thinking about where our technology needs to connect in the future so that we can make the most of all of the new data that's going to become available through these technologies, and really, again, bring that value back to the customer, and then, to enable us to continue to reward the safest driving fleets with the lowest insurance premiums.
Yeah, very good, very good. It is. It's an incredible and I think evolving time within transportation and mobility. And I think, as you pointed, autonomous vehicle technologies. There's more sensors. There's more technology than ever in the ways that we transport to and from work, and so many different technologies, types of vehicles, electric vehicles, coming online. And so that whole landscape, I think as a whole, is changing very much. And it's great to hear that on the commercial insurance side of things, fleet management side of things, you're very much, there, I think, at the cutting edge of technology too. And, working on some incredible things to ensure that you're there kind of in parallel as this, entire landscape changes. So that's great to learn that as well. I know that there's a lot of challenges in commercial, automotive right now, and you have a very unique solution, and it is very much, as you shared, a win-win approach. And so, would love to learn a little bit more about, some of these changes in commercial automotive, and why I think it really highlights the value in Fairmatic's unique approach. Do you mind commenting on that?
Yeah, I think it does. It does go back to a little bit of the story or picture that I painted of where the commercial auto industry is, and that it really is sort of ripe for reinvention, because today customers aren't happy, insurance companies aren't happy, and when you have that situation, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So, I talked a little bit about underwriting losses, and a way that insurance companies measure underwriting losses is combined ratios. And,
Yep.
and so if you were to think about the insurance industry with our combined ratios over 100 over the last decade in this line, it means that we have not been performing well. And I would say it's really important to recognize that the industry and the current carriers have made incremental improvements, and our customers in the marketplace know this. They've seen their rates go up. So as insurance companies are losing money, they raise rates, and then that results in higher auto premiums for customers. And that's necessary because we need to address the sort of the issue with the line. But the problem is the fix right now is sort of applying the same rate across all customers. So we're sort of saying, hey, we're not making money. We need to raise our rates, and we raise rates across the board. And so what Fairmatic does differently is it says, hey, we know that that right now in total the industry isn't making money, but what we do is we try to find those fleets that already are driving safer, or are interested in driving safer, so that they can take that control and save that money on insurance premiums, and partner with us in our technology. And so I think this takes you back to your original point of sort of Fairmatic's different because it's a more individualized approach to pricing, and really, really uses our technology instead of what the industry is doing to apply the right price for the right risk.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, it's the fair way to do it, and I think, of course, the company Fairmatic. So I love that. We talked a little bit, about so many things happening in the industry and some of these shifts that are happening. And what you're really doing, I think, a lot is enabling this industry with these changing demands, with some of the customer needs. And I think you've shared some insights, related to that. But I think, again, just this enabling of an industry that I think that you're really doing. Do you mind commenting, a little bit more on that? And that's probably some more of the kind of the macro effects of the technology and the solutions. But would love, if you would, to maybe comment a little bit, how this solution, how this technology specifically is really enabling an industry.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I haven't mentioned yet is sort of talked a lot about Fairmatic and the technology and product that we have and how we use it to price and underwrite insurance. But there's also an additional sort of impact that our technology has across the entire value chain of insurance. So one example I gave of that already is sort of our ability to provide safety insights. So we have a great dashboard that fleet managers can log in and see, get a good understanding for the health of their fleet, how, what drive opportunities they have to improve their driving performance and so on. So another opportunity in the value chain where the technology really helps unlock value. But another really important thing for our customers is claims. So the day that folks care most about their insurance product is the day they have a claim. And so when I think about sort of the most important day for an insurance company, it really is to be there for your customer, sort of at that moment of need.
Sure.
And some of what really excites me most about our technology is how we make that moment, that day, so much better for our insured as a result of our technology. So
Okay.
you can imagine when you have the Fairmatic app or the Fairmatic product, filing a claim is really easy because you can do it directly through our app. So something happens, you're able to sort of immediately alert the insurance company. You're able to immediately alert your fleet manager about something that's happened on the road, and we make it really easy. It's a couple of clicks. And I know, folks, when you think about calling an insurance company, you think about having 100 pieces of paper ready to share the information you need, and this is not that.
Right.
This is a very simple user interface that allows you to quickly tell us that something has happened, an incident has happened.
Yeah.
And then you sort of extend that throughout the life of the claim, and you say, because we have information and data about the trip that was being taken at the time of claim, we're able to do things like accident reconstruction and get a lot of data about sort of what happened during the incident. That really helps us more quickly and more accurately evaluate the claims. So there's a ton of not just sort of upfront at pricing, but throughout the safety management and the claims experience, the technology really makes much more seamless and unlocks value for the customer across the value chain.
Yeah, very good. I love to hear that, and just some of that information in terms of where the vehicle was headed and what it was doing at the time, and information kind of leading up to the incident. I think is so powerful, and I think just kind of seamlessly integrating things within the app so that you have the ability just to file reports, contact the appropriate individuals, contact Fairmatic right from the app. Makes a lot of sense and is a huge time saver, and makes that experience that much better, as you shared, and from what is traditionally, of course, a negative experience, involve an accident or something like that, but making it as easy as possible to take care of things, I think is a huge advantage. And gosh, if gone are the days of I know myself, anytime I'm in an accident, you see people on the road that unfortunately are in an accident, they always have two handfuls of papers and 10 or 15 papers flying around, and they're on their phone and calling people. And so to eliminate the need for all of that, I think is a huge advantage. So
Especially, yeah, and from a commercial fleet perspective, like having cars on the road is their business, and so we help them get back, not just take care of something that went wrong, but get that vehicle fixed as quickly as possible and back on the road. Because every day is a delivery not made if you don't have your vehicle. So super important, just in terms of enabling the business as well.
Yeah, very much, very much. I can tell the organization has really put a lot of thought, into not only what the needs are within the industry and some of the opportunities, improve technology, but just that experience at an individual or a business level. And from a circumstance like an incident, it's obvious that you put a lot of time into that whole experience and have really worked to provide a very efficient and seamless experience for the client. So that's really, really nice to hear. We've talked about the industry, and just in terms of transportation mobility, so many things happening right now, and it's an evolving landscape, as we all know, within transportation mobility. But even within many of the industries that you support, you're doing some things to really enable those industries. And so would love to learn a little bit more about how really insurance unlocks and powers entire industries, and maybe get some of your insights there. You mind sharing some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would love to. So as we talked about earlier, I've been around insurance for a long time, and I love this. I love this industry for a few different reasons, including being there for your customers when they need you most. But in addition, I love the industry because it is always unfailingly and continuously changing. So there would not be sort of any new. So if you sort of put insurance aside for a second, there is no new product in the US or any economy that can be developed and released without the support of insurance. So insurance is always there and part of the story of innovation more broadly. It's a necessary ingredient there. And if you think about, a great example is the gig economy, that developing insurance solutions was a huge part of unlocking the gig economy. So
Yeah.
figuring out how to just first of all provide coverage and what the structure of a commercial insurance policy should look like for a transportation network company, where you have drivers who are sometimes driving their car for personal reasons and sometimes driving their car for commercial reasons. And how do you structure the policy? How do you price the policy? And I think where we are sort of now is really making sure that we are structuring that product in a way that enables the growth of our customers. So we are, a couple iterations into thinking about what the future of commercial insurance looks like for TNCs. But that same story holds true sort of across all industries. And so when you think about sort of either the vehicles changing, who's driving them, or what's driving them
Yeah.
changing, insurance and is going to be just a critical part of unlocking the future of that. And so when we think about our product, what we are so bullish on is that it really helps sort of simplify all of that complexity and say what matters most is that you can measure the risk that's on the road, no matter what of those like components are there.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about how we service not only the new economies of today, but we'll continue to service the new economies of tomorrow.
Very much so. Very much so. Well, it's very obvious, very clear that you're poised to do that, and will continue doing that, and enabling and empowering even more industries to come in the future. So I'll be very excited to continue watch Fairmatic's contributions within many industries, as I understand more today. Speaking of today, I know that today's interview is going to generate really a lot of interest in individuals and organizations learning more about Fairmatic, and excited about the opportunity to partner with your organization. And so today's interview, of course, will be featured at marketscale.com, as well as Apple Podcast and Spotify and all of our favorite podcast apps. And so I know that there's going to be a lot of businesses out there really excited to learn more about the company. Would you mind sharing where businesses can learn more about partnering with Fairmatic?
Sure, I'm excited to do that. We actually we have just a quick background of the company as I share that information, but our founder and CEO, Jonathan, has a long and distinguished career in technology. So he worked at Google and Facebook and built mobile products and helped scale them. And by scale, I mean like billions of users scale type stuff.
That's incredible.
He is a great product person, amazing technologist, but he's really sort of much more than that. He's somebody who sort of recognized the unintended consequences of higher usage of mobile phones, especially on the roads, and how it impacted safe driving. And sort of he went on to found ZenDrive, which is a company with a mission of making roads safer through the use of data and analytics. And out of ZenDrive was born for Fairmatic, which has the same mission, but to really use data and analytics to offer an insurance solution that helps make roads safer. So that's how Fairmatic was born. And I'm excited to invite folks to visit fairmatic.com, where we recently launched our website after we came out of stealth mode. So I told you that ZenDrive story because our spin out happened about a little over a year ago in the summer of 2021.
Okay.
And we spent some time, sort of solidifying our product, continuing to sort of sell and be in market and really make sure we had demonstrated the results of our product. And this past summer, we came out of stealth mode, I think you referenced.
Yes.
And our company after announcing our Series A raise. So with that little backstory, you can learn more about Fairmatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new company that's been writing insurance for longer than you think. And you can find more about us at fairmatic.com.
Perfect. Well, very good. Well, I sure appreciate that. And I know there's going to be a lot of individuals, a lot of organizations excited to learn more about Fairmatic. So I appreciate that so much. And just really appreciate your time today, Jamie. It's been a lot of fun for me. I think a very relevant, a very timely discussion within the Are We There Yet video podcast series. So really appreciate you taking the time today to share the Fairmatic story with us and a little bit more about your products and incredible technologies that you're developing, and already some of the organizations and verticals that you support and are saving money and saving time. So we really appreciate the introduction there. So thank you so much for taking the time to stop by and visit us here at Are We There Yet? And I've really enjoyed our conversation today. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Grant. Me too. And I love the question. I think it's a great question and appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jamie.